So a bit about the anatomy of the elbow here. So what we're looking at is primarily tennis elbow, golfer's elbow as well. Like I said, golfer elbows is typically on the inside of the arm. Tennis elbow is an injury that occurs on the outside of the elbow over here. It's also known as lateral epicondylitis. It's usually the tendon that becomes overused and overdamaged. A lot of twisting motions, a lot of repetitive movement, that sort of stuff. Sometimes it can go into the forearm, into the hand as well. People sitting in a desk and they're doing a lot of typing. But the word itself, the term itself actually comes from somebody, hitting a tennis ball and then they repetitively strain and injure this muscle or this tendon in this area right here. So it's not an injury to the bone typically, although sometimes the bone can be tender when you push on it, but it's usually the muscle or the tendon here that becomes injured, and that's what needs to be treated. Rest, ice, shockwave therapy, those are probably the best approaches to fix something like that.